Stop being a pain in the neck. You are a pain in my neck. How many times have you heard that or said it yourself? So this is something that I heard growing up. My grandmother would say it. She also said the ASS. My mother said it, you're a pain in my you know what. And guess what? Our bodies believe every word we say, especially when we say it with intense emotion, which usually if we're ticked off at someone, we have some emotion behind it, right? Or if we're even frustrated with ourselves and we're saying, oh, you're a pain in my neck. Guess what? The body is taking that on. And by the time we get into our 40s and on, we are building this weight. The weight of those intense emotions emotions with words and concepts that are going straight into our subconscious. And they are absolutely heavyweight emotionally and mentally, and absolutely they end up being a very physical weight. This is something so simple, not necessarily easy, but to catch yourself, stop, flip the switch, come back to the present moment. That's the work. Is it easy? No. But the more you practice it, the easier it does become, because you're building almost a muscle, right? A muscle in your brain. Just like when we do an exercise with our body, things become easier. Doesn't mean it's more fun, right? I can't say it's going to be fun to do, especially when that has been a habit of saying, oh, you're a pain in my neck. This is a pain in my neck. These kinds of things and other words. But I'm focusing on the neck today because the neck, well, let's just take a look at your neck for a moment, okay? Just assess for yourself, how's your neck doing right now? Because 100% of my clients have neck issues. They usually, oh, it's a tight neck, so they're having to get a massage, and it's just constantly tense, and they're scalene. I mean, I could get into the biology of it, but let's just focus on for a moment the emotional and mental part of the neck and show you how it shows up physically, and then give you tools specifically you can use right now. The first tool is taking a moment and having a break, and just like a mental timeout. Like, whoa, did I just say that? Sometimes we don't even know what we're saying. So we have to start catching ourselves when we say, ah, you're a pain in my neck, or we have to stop it. We need to catch it. And so I don't recommend putting a rubber band on or catching it. Just start becoming more aware every day of what you're speaking out loud, as well as what you're saying quietly, because you're still speaking it even though it's not out loud, right? There is a part of you that's hearing it, and that part is very powerful. I'm not going to go into that part at this moment, but just know that it's very powerful, and most of that subconscious programming is what's running your life. And that's why you see these folks, maybe even you, on these roller coaster diets, or you're on the up and down yo-yo and all of this, because most of it's coming from 95% of the sub-programming that's a sub below what you're even aware of. So the first thing I want you to do is start to become aware. What am I saying? Simple, innocuous things we think we're saying. Oh, you're a pain in my neck. Oh, that's such a pain in my neck. Nope, stop it. Because guess what? You're building a pain in your neck with every single word. There's no way around it. I've been doing this for 36 years, and I can promise you there is a direct correlation. So if we can focus on that for a moment and just say, okay, I'm dedicated, I'm committed now. I am not going to be speaking those words out loud, and I'm going to let my body know. It may be a habit, it may be uncomfortable for a little bit. You're like, catch yourself 5 times, maybe even 20 times, maybe even 100 times. Fine. Keep catching yourself until you're done with it, because you don't need to be speaking that, right? If you do indeed have a pain in your neck, then let's fix it. So here's the physical thing that I do, especially when we do get tight with the day, right? I know this. I ride my bike through the city, and sometimes I'm just tight up here, and I've learned to come back down into my center. And that is something that is an important practice. So watch my videos on powering your center on so that the head is moving freely and you're not moving everything from your neck, trying to do your life from your neck. So the focus then is to come in here and bring your fingers down. Don't go to the veins because I don't want you to choke yourself out, but I want you to feel these muscles, right? You can see I have very big muscles. You might have them as well. And all we're going to do is go find a spot, just a spot that is talking. And when I say talking, that means there's a connection. It's like, oh yeah, hello. But it's not extreme. It's not like 8, 9, 10, just 7 max, okay? So 10 being extreme, 0, there's nothing there. So if I'm going down my neck, oh, actually there's 1 there. That's about a 2. And then I want you to do this for yourself. Whoa, okay, lighting things up. Woo-wee, there's something lighting up. And I'm not pushing very hard, right? It's like I'm pushing maybe a little bit harder than I would on my eyeball. But that's all. So once I have that, I'm going to stay on it because I basically triggered something. And I want you to practice this with me. Just do this with me, okay? You don't have to do anything else but hold this right now. Just hold it. And breathe. So as you breathe, everything's connected to your breath, right? So if you can just breathe right now, and even with that just one breath, already it went down a couple. And now it's almost completely gone. And then I can feel it gently shifting. So you're not trying to cramp your hand or anything. You're finding spots in the neck. And look, I turned a little bit. There are other things we can do, but this is just something simple I want you to know. I've connected, so come down and find something that's talking. 5, 6, okay, I found something right here. That's definitely a 6. Whoa, that's 7. Okay, not because I'm pushing harder, but I went a little closer to we'll call it a knot. Sometimes I'll say trigger point therapy, trigger point. Okay, so it's a spot and it's talking. And we're not going to leave it because what we're going to do now, because we've triggered it, we basically have connected, we've just communicated with it. We've just said, hello, hi, I see you're there, thank you. Okay, and you're going to take a deep breath. The breath is the most important, okay? It's the breath. And yes, the connection, because I'm touching. And a couple of the things I can just tell you, I'm crossing the midline. So we're crossing the midline. There is a neurological piece to this, which is beautiful. You don't need to learn all that or know all that, but that's, for right now, just do this. So already that 7 that was almost making me feel nauseous is now a 4, thank goodness. And I'm just going to do another breath, and I'm still talking. So I'm wondering if you're trying this with me. I really hope that you are. And I want you to notice something else while you're in this position and you have the spot. The neck and the head does so many things, right? We look and we move. I'm barely moving, and it's shifting what's happening. And just moving right here, and I haven't put any different pressure, I can feel it now going down the back part of my arm and up the back of my neck. And I'm just going to take a deep breath. And there are things lighting up, and also I'm hearing pain in the neck because I've said it a lot in my life. And I've heard it a lot in my life that I was a pain in the neck. And it's stuck in the body. And it's weight in the body. It's weight in the emotional and mental body. But guess where it shows up? In the physical body, okay? So even just breathing now, mine's come down to a 2. And I really hope that you're practicing this with me as we go. It doesn't take that long. And yes, it's very nice to do it with someone when they're releasing. But there's something also with being with yourself and doing the inner work. So I call it the working in, right? We work out and we work in. And we need to balance that, especially when we get past 40, because it's a lot louder. And believe me, when you get to 50, it gets even louder. And past 55 and 6 and 7, oh man, it starts really talking. And honestly, there's no way, we can't numb it out. But there is an absolute way for us to release it. And I hope to share all the tools that I have. Everything I can share, I'm hoping to share in my lifetime, and that hopefully you'll do these with me. I'll try to come on more often. Please send me questions that you have. I have many, many tools that I want to share. especially for women 40 plus who are carrying a lot of weight. The weight of being mom to our young children, the weight of being caregiver for our parents and life and all of it. And I see you. I am with you. You're not alone. And there are wonderful tools and a safe space. Hopefully I can help create that and cultivate that. So try that. I only did one side, and I don't necessarily, sometimes we don't need to do both sides. I carry a backpack on my bike, so both sides for me are intense. But when I walk and I wear a strap bag, this side is usually more intense. So you want to find out for yourself what's happening and have that conversation with yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all it is really just having the conversation with yourself again, speaking beautifully and kindly and lovingly to yourself again. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. So if this resonates, please do subscribe, because I'm working on building this channel and giving more back to the community and sharing. So let me know. I'd love to go on live and answer your questions and come regularly to share with you simple things. So catch when you say, or hear even someone else saying it, and watch when someone else, especially if you have youth, if you have kids in your house and they learn what they live, they're repeating those messages. So nip that in the bud, because your body's believing every word you say. And then go in and do the physiological pieces. Very simple. The most important thing to do is remember the breath, because you don't want to just push and not breathe. Don't hold your breath during it, right? I'd rather you even just put your hand on your shoulder, because your brain immediately is going to send some communication there, and then you can breathe, right? Because we're tactile, we're physical. There's a lot happening on our skin. So even just a touch. I like crossing the midline. That helps. There's so many other things. I can't wait to share all these tools with you. I'll see you next time.